Hello folks, this is Wayward Eko. The Fun Pimps just concluded the first Alpha 20 dev stream in almost a year. I'm going to run through all the highlights from the stream and then close out with 3 key items which I know people are interested in. Console updates, Alpha 20 timing, and then finally the beta release timing. So the first big update we'll talk about is random gen, and specifically we'll talk about the city aspect of this. Here's some details from Joel and Rick as Lathan guides us around.
These tiles have a lot of interest in them. There's potential parts that spawn. Some of them have sewers that you can go into with zombies.
They go on to talk about how the cities are much more densely packed and you can easily find yourself trapped in a corner when trying to flee from the horde. For those unfamiliar with the new city tech, here's Rick giving a quick explanation of how it functions.
The arrows show the facing direction, the volumes show the type of POI, or the size bucket, if you will. The level designers have been working hard. They have organized a lot of the POIs into about 4 sizes. Small, medium, large, and extra large. So this tile here is a downtown city area. You can see a clock tower there for downtown, but it will randomly pick this tile to lay out in a random gen town, and it'll randomly pick the contents of this.
Rick goes on to note that there will be over 50 city district tiles at Alpha 20 drop. Other new random gen features include custom map support, which they teased would be in a follow-on stream. And lastly, we'll be getting an updated prefab and world editor, which will also be in a follow-up stream. Next, we got updates on the drone. This will almost be like a customizable companion that leverages mod slots to allow you to choose and select how you want to use this. Depending upon the mod selected, the drone can specialize in healing, providing light, having extra carrying capacity, and then the teddy bear mod, which we've all seen. They weren't specific on the stream, but indicated that it would provide some type of morale boost in the form of buffs. The drone will also have a female mechanical voice to provide commentary as you're going on your zombie adventures. Hopefully significantly more subdued than something like Claptrap. Speaking of mods, the Fun Pimps did talk about the expanded seating on some of the vehicles. The expanded seating mod would allow 3 people in the 4x4, 2 people in the motorcycle. They were unsure whether the mini bike would receive a mod, and it was unlikely in regards to the gyrocopter until they remade the model itself. There was some comical banter around the bicycle getting a mod to allow someone to ride on the handlebars, but I don't think we'll be seeing that. Next up is for you builders who like to build gigantic structures that you can see from afar. Currently, as you see the base clip into existence here, that's how it works in Alpha 19. Moving forward, you're going to be able to see your base from a significant distance away. They went on to reference that there would be some settings in the menu for those of you out there with potatoes that don't want further impact. Personally, I'm looking forward to building a massive towering structure that you can see from a long ways away that can act as kind of a beacon as you're heading back to your base. The next highlight, and one of the more controversial ones around the community, has been the block updates. Here we can see the new shapes menu, which is going to boast around 1,200 shapes that we'll have access to. Those will be broken up into categories for easy sorting, and you'll be able to apply these shapes to any type of material.
Part of that too was streamlining the material types. So there's weak wood, cobblestone, concrete, and steel. And we've simplified that sort of upgrade path just a little bit and made that easier to understand.
So based off of Rick's commentary, my understanding is that they probably had to simplify the blocks to give access to these 1,200 based off of some prior coding issues that they had built in. In regards to the health of the blocks, Rick did mention that wood would be getting a buff.
Wood is pretty decent. We buffed its health, so it's not, so useless anymore.
So we'll have to wait and see if there's any shifts in the health of the rest of the blocks. Personally, the idea of getting access to 1,200 shapes to work with is amazing, and I can't wait for this. So next we have updated zombie models, starting with the spider zombie. This guy looks super creepy. Next we have the new white with huge patches of skin missing. The radiation zombie will be new to Alpha 20, but unfortunately won't have the full functionality that they wanted to out of the gate. The long-term plan is that this zombie will actually pull the green chunks off of its back and throw those at you as a projectile. Next up, we have the new burnt zombie. I love how you have the charred exterior with the fleshy bits showing through in cracks. Here we have the updated Lumberjack. They took away that blue hue that used to be there so that they could have a little bit more flexibility in terms of where the Lumberjack would go. So moving forward, you'll see him more often in the winter biomes, but you may also see him in other areas around Alpha 20. Next, we have man's best friend in zombie format. This guy's probably chased you all over the wasteland in the past. This guy gets a makeover after years of essentially just being a stock model that they had used. Last on the list was the nurse update, shifting away from the traditional cosplay version that they had before to more of a realistic horror bent. Other updates in the dev stream included weapon model updates. We got to see kind of a final look at what the primitive weapons are going to shake out to look like. You notice they incorporate a lot of the things from the stores and other parts and pieces that you find around the world to create these. I thought that was a really crafty bit that they added on. Then they showed 2 of the reworked models. This chainsaw looks frickin' amazing. We also got a new pump shotgun model, but it's pretty hard to see from this image. They also showed some of the new environmental models, including fuse boxes and switches and some buttons. They also had a fluorescent light that they showed to give a little bit more characteristics to buildings. Lastly, they showed a teaser in regards to the grass and foliage updates that they've made to the game, but only in an image. So this brings us to the 3 topics we wanted to hit at the end. The first is going to be console updates. So here's some quick commentary from Rick.
On top of that, we're in negotiations with several companies on being our console porting partner. So rest assured, it's coming back to console. It's we want to do that. We're committed to that, and it's going to happen. You know, it may not happen when you want it to, but it will happen. So we wanted to at least let you guys know that we're thinking about you and we're moving in the business direction to make that happen.
So there you have it, some updates on consoles, not anything definitive. They did come back and say one other bit at the end at the Q&A that I want to bring up.
We're going to target the new consoles. We're going to try to make it backport to the old consoles. We have a lot of video options. We think we can make it work on the old consoles too, but and we do our dream is to have it cross-play between multiple stores. You know, it would be PlayStation, Xbox, other stores too, possibly the Epic Store or Microsoft Store, all cross-played with dedicated servers. So when it does come back to console, we want that console guys to have the dedicated server experience as well.
So despite the fact that they're a little bit light on details for console, they are thinking forward in terms of crossplay and things like that, which is encouraging. So this brings us to the last topic of the dev stream. When are we going to get our hands on Alpha 20? Well, let's hear these guys go back and forth and debate on this.
So people want to know when A20 drops. You know, we're getting closer. We're fixing bugs. We're going to do streams every week and continue to fix bugs, and we're pretty close to content lock at this point. Pretty close, I'd say. The guys have got, you know, they're fixing bugs, and
before Alpha 21 and after Alpha 19, if that helps.
Yeah, definitely.
Gosh, if it's not out before Christmas, I think we're going to have to give away like 100 free keys or something on this channel, you know.
It's going to be out way before that.
We're going to be eating. We're going to be eating a lot of serious crow. It has to be out.
You know.
Well, before Halloween, and at least experimental, I would say for sure.
Yeah.
Why don't we not say what y'all are saying right now? Why don't we just not speculate?
Just not take any risks.
So there you have it, folks. Definitely before Christmas. Ideally in October if Richard gets his way, but given the face that Latham was making, I'm still going to bet on November. As Rick noted, they'll be doing dev streams every Wednesday moving forward until A20 releases. So as long as that goes on, I will be providing the Cliff Notes version the Thursday after each dev stream. Last item on my list was the gold version target date. And Rick said that'll be sometime next year. Eko out.